The oil drilling major update out now. Dear Stormworkers and Roughnecks, the oil drilling major update is live now. The new update introduces oil drilling to the world of Stormworks. This update includes many new components and systems to allow players to design and operate oil rigs. Oil drilling is a massive business with many different ways to drill oil and loads of engineering. We have simplified oil drilling from real life to work with a set of blocks, but many of the design consideration, mechanics, and logistics remain. Let's talk about what this means. Surveying for oil. Players can just start drilling in the hope of striking black gold, but it's probably more sensible to purchase surveys. You can discover oil fields by purchasing survey data from the existing oil sites in game. Industrial Frontier DLC owners can also drill on land at any of the pre-established oil wells on the Mire Islands that include static workbenches for creating rigs. Establishing a well. The new oil well component is large and heavy. When placed down, level, and flat, it can be activated and will lock to the ground. This can be logistically difficult when drilling in the ocean, so you may need special purpose vehicles such as submersibles to assist in positioning the well. Feeding rods. The new drill rods are 10-meter lengths of drilling pipe. They can be stored in the rod holders, picked up and fed using the rod clamps, and threaded together using the rod threading clamp. You'll need to thread together a long drill chain of rods as you feed into the well. Drilling. Once you have your rods assembled and fed into the top of the well, it's time to start drilling. For this, you'll need to rotate the rods by feeding them through a rod driver and pump drilling slurry using the rod pivot into the rods to work as cutting fluid. Extracting oil. Once you have drilled down to the depth of the oil deposit, it's time to start extracting. For this, you'll need the well pump, a huge piston-type pump that needs to be activated mechanically. Make a pump jack or otherwise drive the piston to pump oil. Refining. Once you have extracted your oil, you can refine it in a tall custom tank with distillation. Heat the oil using a coal burner or the new diesel burner. That is awesome. Or electric heater to 300C, and the oil will start to separate. It can be extracted using the distillation taps, which will condense jet fuel or diesel depending on the height of the column. So that's cool. We can't wait to see what oil industry inspired creations players come up with, and hope you enjoy these new components and mechanics, and we'll look forward to your feedback. Much love, Stormworks developers. Let's go through the patch notes. Patch notes version 1.7.0 feature oil industry major update. Oil drilling is a new late game activity for Stormworks with high startup costs but large return on investment. Oil can be found under oil rig workbenches or under random ocean tiles. Purchase survey data from oil company to reveal them on your map. Once you've located an area rich in oil, it's time to set up oil rig and drilling. Oil survey. Randomly generated ocean oil deposits. Oil data vendors will sell oil deposit information. Oil deposit below the static oil base. 4 oil well locations on the Mire Island Industrial Frontier DLC. Attach a wellhead to the train above the deposit. These are pre-placed on Mire Island. Drill rods can be fed into the top of the component with assistance from drill clamps and connectors to pick up and join the rods. A rotary table and swivel provide rotation and slurry flow, which are required for running the drill. Once the drill is spinning and has a supply of slurry, the rods need to be physically pushed into the wellhead to advance the drill. Drilling will saturate the slurry with mud and stone, which can be cleaned and recycled using a slurry filter and fresh water. After the drill arrives at the oil deposit, the oil can be extracted with the pump jack component. Paired directly to a swivel, the pump jack requires mechanical action to draw up the oil from the well. Oil drilling. Drill rod storage, drill clamp, drill connector, rotary table, drill swivel, wellhead, pump jack, new fluid, slurry and saturated slurry, and a slurry filter. Now that you have an excess of oil, you don't just have to sell. Fractional distillation is the process of separating crude oil into its more useful components. Heat up oil inside a contained volume to greater than 300 degrees and use distillation port to tap off diesel and jet fuel fractions. I like how they did that. That's cool that they're doing it as a distillation system. Fractional distillation. We now have a diesel furnace, which people have very much been looking for. We have an electric furnace and a distillation port. Hopefully we can use this diesel furnace for other uses. We have depreciated the fluid filter in this update for a much more simplified version of the component to emphasize the design challenge of fluid building systems. When we depreciate parts, they remain in the game files and replacement version is added. This means that your old vehicles will still work as usual, but the old version of the part will no longer appear in the edit inventory. General, new fluid filter. Fix, improved terrain at Screech Trading Yard. Rework, resource trading add-on now has surge pricing. That's interesting. Rework, temperature sensor now uses compartment temperature if placed inside a sealed volume. That's awesome. That allows us to do different temperatures for inside the vehicle versus out. So for like airplanes, you could be heating the inside volume. Rework, radar now ignores movable class objects. Desalinator rebalance. So that was super duper slow. I assume they made that so it desalinates a little bit faster. Add-on lure, get oil deposits, added large keypad support to set vehicle keypad. So really looking forward to this update. Hope you guys are too, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.